Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kanchan. Today I will be starting a new series called the Expat Edition, where I will be sharing my experience of living in Dubai, the ups and downs I had, and what is the good part of it, what is the bad part of it. So everything in this entire series I will be covering in next few parts of it. So stay tuned. Before we dive into it, I would like to tell you something about myself. It's been 5 years I've been living in Dubai and I'm into travel and events. So, with my journey of 5 years, I would like to share my experience where it can be helpful for someone who is thinking of moving to Dubai, and people watching who are already in Dubai can relate to it at some point. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. So, moving to a new place, a new country can be a daunting task, but a place like Dubai, where it's a blend of a modern luxury and deep rooted traditions, a high end shopping experience, a vibrant nightlife, you get swayed away with it. So, I didn't get a time to enjoy much of a nightlife also here, but I did manage. The reason being, I will be telling you more about and further into the video. So back to 2019, when for the first time I landed here. From I am originally from Mumbai, so for someone who is coming from Mumbai to Dubai, for them I feel like it's like an upgrade, because upgrade I would say in more of a structured manner. It's more organized, people follow the rules and things like that. So first I landed in Abu Dhabi, and for me it was still I was adapting to the fact that I'm in a new country, because Dubai was the first, UAE was the first country which I traveled to out of India. Funny story, there was a time I used to say that no, Dubai will not be the first country, first city which where I will be traveling, but look at the stars. It has aligned it so well that now I work here and I don't even regret a bit. Anyway, back to the story of how I moved here. I had a then friend who was living in Abu Dhabi with a family, uh, her uncle and her father. She asked me to come stay with her and explore opportunities. I got into here with the reference of my former boss, who was back in India. I used to work for him, and then who introduced to my last boss right now. So that's how I got into it. So 2019 October I got into it. 2020 COVID happened and everything went downside. I had no clue what to do, where to go. Luckily, the company I joined was new. They only had one staff, which was me. So I think we both needed each other, and everything just had fallen in place in that time. If I was in India with a travel job, I would be jobless and homeless, I feel like, because financially it would have gone so bad. And I think Dubai happened just in the right time, because whatever pay salary I used to get back then was enough for me to survive in India. So that is one of the reasons Dubai, for having no tax income, is like the best thing ever. So 2020 until 2020 end, I was in Dubai. Since COVID happened, lockdown happened. I again moved back to India. Then 2021, the year end, I came back because it was my visa renewal. 2023 was again, it was getting started. People were slowly getting into travel. It was then it was like a revenge tourism. Everyone wanted to go out since they have not been in anywhere. So it was quite a roller coaster ride for me. Uh, until last year, I have been working with my first company, and this year I moved to another organization. That is, in a nutshell, overall what happened with me. And initial first impression was, for me, it was like I didn't felt I was in another country. I mean, I'm not in India. It just for an Indian here, it's like a we have set rules, we follow, we respect the culture. We have become more responsible uh, citizen here, because being in another country is, you have to follow that rules of those country. And I'm not bad mouthing about my own country, but I do love my country. I do love going back to Mumbai. uh, if Mumbai is my heart, Dubai is my heartbeat. So it's like they both need each other. So it's just, being such a densely populated country, of course India will take time to develop and all kind of stuff. It was my first impression, because most of the population here, there are mixed race, but I also seen Indian faces, Filipinos, Russians, all. So it's like a mixed crowd. You don't get only uh, one kind of a nationality where you see it and you feel like an outsider. That is not the case here. You don't feel like an outsider here at all. So the warmth about this place has kept me going till date. Living in Dubai, the culture, the cost, the things which I never knew existed, I came to know here. There are things I thought my then friend could have just pointed out or given me a heads up would have been better for me. That is why I feel like doing this video was important, because someone like me out there would have been prepared back then. So the first shock was for me that there are shared apartments. Everyone, the maximum number of people live in sharing basis, whether it's a bed space, whether it's a shared room, shared apartment, however. So when the first time she told me, before just 2 days before landing, that you have to live no, that we live in a shared apartment, and I was shocked that we live in a shared apartment. I mean, in back in my country, it was not the case, because we have not seen that extensively, but it is there. But we don't see it in every household, even if someone who is living uh, in a low cost area or on a high end, but they always had their own space. Whoever is working wherever, they always had their own space, unless someone has come to Mumbai from, from other states or other places, who is living there for a living. So that was something what we had seen. But here, I think that entire country thrives on it. So how maximum number of people cannot also afford the luxury of having their own space most of the time, depending on each one's salary. So that was the one thing which has shocked me, because when I moved with my friend, it was a two-bedroom apartment. They had a huge living room which they had turned into bedroom, and the landlord was staying in that room. And in one bedroom it was her and her uncle, and in one bedroom it was me. So I was already adjusting to this kind of a setup. By the time I was getting adjusted to this, when I got my job and moved to Dubai, I had uh, I had to live in a bed space. So in that case, in that one apartment, there were 11 beds, almost. I think in one bedroom there were three beds, one bedroom there were three beds, and in one living room they turned into, as you know, the bedroom. Uh, there were five beds. including one bunk bed. Yeah, which was a nightmare. Oh, anyway, but yeah, then I was adjusting to living in a bed space. I did meet different nationalities, different girls from different nationalities. It was a good experience, when you live with people from different race and religion. You learn a lot, and I feel like there is a lot of patience also come to you. I am already a very patient person, but I think it just leveled up for me. Uh, so there I was only for, like I said, 6 months, and then COVID happened, things changed, and things like that. So 2 years later, in 2023, I now have my own studio where I live with my cat peacefully. I think over the period of time when you grow gradually, you at least deserve some kind of perks. You have to reward yourself in some way. But the cost of living is increasing rapidly. Now I feel like it is becoming very, very, very expensive. Back then, to be very honest, my salary was 3,000. Since I'm into travel, I was into travel, I didn't have much of an opportunity. It is not a high paying job, and increment also depending on the kind of a boss you have. So there are jobs like which are high paid jobs into architecture, designing, real estate, banking, insurance. These are the highest paying jobs. Whoever is like coming through like a basic, getting startup or in any other field, I'm not much aware about, but where it's admin related or like our travel industry, hospitality, like hotels and all, dealing with the cost of living and supporting our family back in India, and still having a standard living for ourselves. So to all together, it's still like a cut to cut thing to even get into it. So you really need to have minimum to cover this all three. I think, to be very honest, if I go to see the kind of rent increase this year is, I would say someone should have 10,000 and above. With that also, they can manage to not live in a city center. They can only manage to live somewhere far from the city center. Uh, they can manage a car, a basic economical car. You should look for, if you are getting, and these are all high paying companies which will give you. But apart from that, people like us who are starting their job from 3,000 and slowly gradually moving it, we are still are managing, but we are still surviving. I would rather say, put it that way. But because once you get used to the lifestyle here, uh, because you don't want to go back. The reason being, we're more comfortable here, and you may not get the kind of a salary you are getting here. So whatever you're getting, even if it's basic, if you double it in your own country, it's quite more than what we expect. So that's one part of it. Cost of living is increasing rapidly. It's been I so there are areas like downtown Bardubai, Kisses, which is then Furjan. You will someone who is new, they can just Google it and they'll map it out. I'll in Dubai land. So these are just far away. So downtown and Dubai are like close, but like relatively not that close also. But downtown is like where Burj Khalifa is, where it's more touristic. It's more touristic, and more picturestic, also vibrant nightlife. You will get it all in downtown and marina and blue waters. It's a very beautiful place to be around all the time. And other than that, you are just going on traveling for your work, because other places are quite far. Back when I moved to my apartment, the rent was 2000. Uh, the rent was 2000. Yeah, the rent was 2000. Last year it got increased by 400, so now it's 2400. And this year this has increased to 3000 and more, which I have to rethink and evaluate, because right now 3000 is like way half of my, almost half of my salary. Uh, no, 3000 is way more for an accommodation. And though I have a license, but I don't have a car yet. I do go by public transport, which is another story about public transport. I will get to it. Uh, so yeah, now the rent has increased way higher. It's like if you're getting an increment of 10%, or you're not getting an increment at all, but the rents are increasing like 40-45% almost. And it's like, and these places are which are far away from your business centers, your actual workplaces. So if you are working in downtown and places like that where are more commercialized, good luck. I'm still finding difficult to now travel. But if you go towards Kisses, or towards the border of Sharjah, where Nada is, there is more reasonable and budget-friendly apartment you can find. Uh, Apart from that, I don't think any place is left where you can minimum 2000 is also a rent anymore. So that was all about accommodation and cost of living. In terms of transportation, it's quite well connected, I would say. I am staying where there is no metro connectivity. My office is in near downtown, close to downtown. Uh, so I have to take a bus, then take a metro, and then just walk. Uh, if you move around anywhere in Dubai, you will max reach in 20-25 minutes. If there are peak hours, you can get stuck around another 20 minutes, say, which is still manageable. Peak hours we can all understand, but otherwise, you're just away 20 minutes from anywhere in Dubai. So, wherever your job is, try looking for accommodation close by. If it's sharing or however you can manage in your own salary, would. So, the challenging part is your work life balance. Uh, it is difficult to cope up with at the beginning, because every company has different criterias. Moving ahead, there are challenges like the heat here, the weather. Starting from April mid end, you will start to feel it, like okay, it's starting to getting humid, and it till the end of September, it's it's burning. It's it's very difficult. It can go up to 45 50 at times. June, July, August being the most extreme summer seasons here. So that is one part of it, the weather. But as you know, you can't get it all. You can't get everything the way you want. To get something, you have to lose something. So every country, I would say, has its own pros and cons. You will get through it once you start living here. The first year, it's very difficult to manage. I myself, I was like, I am not a, I don't like extreme weathers in any season. Yeah, almost 6 months we enjoy winters, and almost 6 months we enjoy We don't, sorry. we we try to enjoy. That is one part of it, the weather. And apart from that, I don't see anything else. Yeah, the water could be harsh, so hair fall is something which everyone is facing at the moment. And that is something which is being constant for every other person you ask, that having a hair fall because of the kind of a water and you are not used to it. Benefits of living in this country is safety, uh, career opportunities. I would say, though, be it a high paying job or a low paying job, but there are times where opportunities are equally spread out everywhere. And I would say Dubai has more opportunities in my industry, at least. That's what I felt in travel and events. Because when I was in Abu Dhabi, I couldn't find, first of all, many travel agencies there, and everyone requires different kind of experiences, and my experiences lied in tours and packages and things like that. And when I first came here, I was having experience back in my country for quite 2-3 years, but it was zeroed out because I didn't have an experience in this country. So it was like me beginning from scratch. That is why, if they take you on a level where you consider a fresher, minimum wage is like starting from 3,000, and I think it's still there. It's still there. So I still know that my previous company is still paying newcomers 3,000. So God hope, God knows how people are managing now in with so much of increase in everything. But I think eventually everyone does. They have to cut corners somewhere. Apart from that, career opportunities are there. Say the safety in this country, it's like you can roam around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and you'll still come back home safely. That is like 100% guarantee for sure. Uh, and a good social life. You can enjoy the vibrant life. It has a lot to offer. Every corner of the city has something which everyone is looking for in their own way. Be it beaches, the malls are so lavish and luxurious. There's like blue waters, and which is like screams nightlife. So yeah, it's quite vibrant there, but it is also expensive there. Apart from that, I think this country is best to live, no matter in which city you're living in depending on what job you are getting and doing it. uh, I think you will have the best of it. So I think if you're deciding to move here, uh, at the beginning you really need to be patient. One tip to all the newcomers or who is planning to come to or move to Dubai is, sure, you are so well prepared that anything can happen. You can go moving here is like nothing is permanent. First of all, you move every now and then, so accommodation is something you should never settle. You shouldn't settle in your mind, okay, this is the place I'm going to be here for the most of my life, as long as I'm. So that is going to keep on changing depending on the budget, on this on the rent hikes. So that is something which will keep on changing. You will have to keep moving, more frequently. Say it can be 2 months or 3 months for someone who is living in bed space, can be a year, can be 2 years also. So but be prepared that accommodation is something which is not going to be permanent, and it will keep on changing depending on your own budget and things like that. So don't stick to one plan. I would say go with the flow is my way of living. Planning never worked for me, so never been there. I'm still planning, and things will happen differently. So forget it. A must-know info is your before coming to the country is of course your visa, depending on your nationality. I can help around with that. Your flight tickets, and I will link down few links where you can look for accommodation. Like Dubizzle is a website which is locally people look for bed space and shared rooms and majorly those kind of stuff. Uh, Majorly for accommodation people look, but you will get everything there. So it's like a one-stop shop, but everything is like the first thing is mostly seen on Dubizzle only. So yeah, that is that. That's all, and that's all me about in a nutshell about my life in Dubai. I will be doing more detailed videos on cost of living and accommodation, and transport. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, if you need any help regarding travel, I'm here. You can just drop down in the comment below. I would love to hear your experiences also. So do share it. Anything you want to know more, please feel free. Apart from that, see you next time.